Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks again for joining me in my kitchen. I'm Angela, Creole Roots. If you were looking for me this Sunday morning, you know where you can find me, in the kitchen with Angela. So thank you for joining me here on YouTube channel today. I have some recipes I want to get out there to you guys. I'm going to do a twist on our regular spaghetti and meatballs dish. It's a twist. What I'm going to be doing, instead of using pasta, I'm going to create a healthier version of meatballs and spaghetti. So I'm going to do, instead of using pasta, which is full of carbs and gluten and all that, even though you can buy a gluten-free pasta, the carbs are so high in pasta that it still can raise your blood sugar levels and all that and add calories on, because most people who eat pasta, they love it and they want plates full of it. So what we're going to do is we're scratching the pasta and we're going to do spaghetti squash. Okay? That's very good for you. It's hearty. It tastes good. It incorporates with whatever you put on it. It's real good and it's sensible. And then we're going to, instead of using ground meat, we're going to use two things. We're going to mix it together. We're going to use ground turkey and we're going to do ground chicken. So we're going to have a mixture today. That's going to be my meatballs. So, you know, meatballs can consist of not just ground meat. It's meat. It says meat. So it's meatballs. So I'm doing chicken and turkey today. So I'm going to call it my Turk chicken. Okay? So thank you. Come on in my kitchen today. We're going to start off by making the meatballs. I already have the spaghetti squash in the oven. It's on 375. I'm going to cook it for 30 to 40 minutes. I also have to make the sauce. So we're doing everything scratch, all things New Orleans, but we're doing a twist on it. So it's going to be a twist. See? Twist. So we're in the kitchen today, and I'm going to start off with, I got to get my knife out. I'm going to start off by opening up my meat. And it's just 1 pound. It's just 1 pound of turkey and 1 pound of chicken, okay? So while my spaghetti squash is in the oven, it gives me time to do all this. So while I'm waiting for everything to come together, throw this to the sink. While I'm waiting for things to come together in the oven, then I'm gonna start by doing my meatballs, put them in the oven. While they're in the oven, then we're gonna go to the stove to do our sauce today. So it's all things New Orleans. You know, I discussed how I grew up, Creole Roots girl, grew up in New Orleans. You can check me out on my Instagram page. You can check me out on Facebook. You can even check me out here on my YouTube channel. So come on in my kitchen. We got this set up. I'm gonna go ahead and get me a fork out. And we're gonna blend the turkey and the chicken together. It's 1 pound of each, okay? And I just want to blend that together. We're going to use Italian breadcrumbs. It has a lot of flavor in that as well. And then I have my sheet pan over here ready to go when I'm ready to get it there. So I also have here, I have some accent. I'm going to add in there, brings out the flavor and everything. Not a lot of it, just enough, you know. Then you know I have my Tony Saturé. Of course, it has all kinds of blends and seasonings in there, but I still like to add more. And I have 2 eggs. I also have some sage I'm going to put in there. That's going to go well with the chicken. Excuse me. The seasoning always get me. Bless me. So I'm getting this open. It's the seasonings. They always get in my nose. I'm putting a little sage in there. We're going to add some Holy Trinity. And I hope you know what that is. In New Orleans, we call it Holy Trinity. It's bell pepper, onion, and celery. We don't go nowhere without it. Then we add the pièce resistance to it by adding garlic and bay leaf. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So if you know that, if you know anything about New Orleans people, you know that we have to have that or we not cooking, you know. So I have, basically this is a seasoning blend, so I won't have to waste too much time chopping up anything. It has the bell pepper, celery, and onion in there. So I'm just gonna get it in here. And I'm gonna also add some celery. I did the celery, I'm sorry. Parsley. I'm adding my parsley flakes in here. Even though they have it in the Italian breadcrumbs, like I said, it's nothing wrong with adding a little bit more, just so long you don't over season the food. But meat needs a little punch, you know, every now and then. So I'm gonna get this all blended in there. And then we're gonna bake this too. This is a healthy dish, but it's a hearty dish. And if you go back for seconds, you don't have to worry about the calories or the pounds. You know what I'm saying? So I need a little black pepper in here and a little cayenne pepper. And I love McCormick, yeah. So just a little bit cayenne pepper. Make sure I got the holes right. And I want it to burst with flavor. I want it to be tender and all that. So, okay, I'm gonna add my 2 eggs in here. And this is a meal for not just one person, 2 to 4. Or you can keep it all week. Just meal prep and keep it all week. You know I'm a meal prepper. I talk about that often. Meal prepping is key. It keeps you from going into those stores, getting into trouble with all that fast food. Then you wind up on medicine. So this is going to be about a cup. Okay, we're going to use about a cup. We used about 1/4 cup of the Trinity. We used 1/8 of a teaspoon of each one of these seasonings. And then this is gonna be a cup of this. Breadcrumbs, the Italian breadcrumbs by Progresso. These are really good. So I'm gonna add this in. And that was all about a cup there. So I'm just gonna mix all this together. Then we're gonna roll them up into balls. And as I roll them up and get them all in the balls, what we're gonna do is I could put a pan on the stove and taste the seasoning in it. Before I actually do that, I'm gonna add all this. So we want the balls to be firm and have some body to it, you know. So I just, like I said, you start off small, then you can add more. You don't wanna pack the punch on the first hit and then the food is overwhelming with salt or something. So you wanna eyeball your food first. Recipes are incorporated for a reason. So, especially with bacon, you have to make sure when you're baking, it's precise, or you can mess up your baking goods. Cakes and all that, pies, gotta be precise, unless you just know what you know and you've been doing it for years. Sometimes even the best cooks can mess up a dish. You know what I'm saying? So thank you again for being with me today. I got some sage in here, just a little bit. Accent. We have the breadcrumbs. Like I said, we have our Holy Trinity in there. And we have our Tony Saturé. So Tony Saturé also has garlic in it too. But I'm going to add a little garlic too. Just a little more. Italian dishes. Oh, they're great with thyme, rosemary, and all that, you know, basil. It's real good. So this is stiff enough to me without being overwhelming. So I'm going to spray my pan here. I have my pan ready. And I'm going to spray my pan. We're going to get these meatballs rolled up in a minute. And then we'll put them in the oven for the 375 for 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so get them in there, and then we'll start off on our sauce for the meatball and spaghetti squash. That's what we're doing today. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied. So I'm gonna get a pan out, I think, and I'm gonna see how this tastes, because this is a new recipe. So I got my trusty dusty pan out. It's a new recipe, so I want to see how the flavor is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scoop up a little bit. This is for a tester. And then I'm gonna lay it flat like a miniature, just a miniature hamburger patty, or not hamburger, but chicken patty. And I'll put it in a pan. We're gonna fry it up to see how it tastes. But while I'm doing that, I'm gonna get my hands cleaned up. And like I said, we're doing all things New Orleans. Born and raised New Orleans girl, Creole roots. I'm talking about trivia. You can win something just by subscribing to my page and watching what I talk about. Today's the day I give you the trivia question, and you gotta go on my YouTube channel, watch any of the videos, and whatever the video is, then you're gonna have to inbox me, tell me exactly what the question was about, give me the correct answer, and Friday of this coming week, I will announce the winner. So the first one to inbox me, first one to subscribe, like, go for it. We're gonna go ahead and draw the winner on this coming Friday. I won't do it in advance again. You have to subscribe to my channel, and once you do, you'll know the question. So later on today, I'm gonna go on Facebook. I'm gonna also go on my Instagram channel, and you have to tell me what is the answer to the trivia question, all things New Orleans, okay? So I have my meat over here. We're gonna just let you come over here and join me. I have my little patty frying up. We're gonna test it for flavor. So you gotta let turkey and chicken, anything dealing with a bird, you have to make sure you wash your hands when you're dealing with bird spit raw. You have to make sure it's fully cooked. You don't want any undercooked bird. You can get very sick from that. And make sure you clean your hands. I keep a sink full of water when I'm dealing with chicken or any food. I like to be able to catch up on my hands as I go, you know. So this is frying up. It's a tester. We want to test it and see if I need to add anything extra. Then we can turn it into meatballs, put it in the oven. And this is part of my meal prep Sunday. Saturdays and Sundays when I do my meal preps, okay? And I wanted to talk to you guys while we're waiting for that about national park we have in New Orleans. It was in New Orleans East on Reed Boulevard where I lived. And it was a great park. It's called Joe Brown Park. It's still there to this day. People can go out there and walk. There's all kinds of flag football tournaments that go on out there, soccer. And you can play volleyball. You could just walk around, see the natural beauty of it. There's some wildlife in there. And it's a beautiful park where people can come together, have picnics, just take a walk and explore the park itself. But they had a lot of sports there too, and things that you could do. They would entertain you. They might even have reading at the park sometimes, I heard. So I haven't been there in a while, but my friend, he would take and exercise there. People would ride bikes. And back in the day when my mom was still living, we all would get together and go take a walk with her throughout the park. But Joe Brown Park is one of our parks in the New Orleans East area, where it was another place to get out with your family or your friends, have fun, have picnics, and entertain. It was a real nice park, and it was always located across the street from my high school, Abramson High School. So it was Marion Abramson High School, where most of us went that lived in my area, in our Little Woods area where I was raised, born and raised. So I have my chicken patty, chicken slash Turk patty, or Turk chicken patty. And it's frying up. I'm going to turn the fire down just a little bit. Because it's chicken and stuff, you can even add olive oil actually to ground meat too. Olive oil is good for anything. I keep it on hand. I got to have it on deck all the time. And one thing I did forget to put in there, and we're going to go back to the pan, and to the bowl of Turk chicken meatballs, and we're going to add some Parmesan cheese in there, okay? I think that's going to be great. It's going to bring out the flavor. It's going to make things pop. So that's why it's always good to prep ahead of time, because you may forget something, especially with me running my mouth. You may forget something, but I see it look staring me in the face right next to the olive oil. So it said, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm hanging out here for what? So I'm going to fix that situation, and we're going to actually go ahead and add some of that in there as well. So we're going to add some Parmesan cheese in there. So my patty, my Turk chicken meatball patty is coming out pretty good. I'm going to turn the fire off because I don't need it anymore. This is a very good pan. My big sister bought me these. It's called Chef's Mark. I love these pans. They're so beautiful and wonderful. They cook well, just like I love my black iron frying pans. If you buy me a pot or a pan, I'll be so excited. I'll love you for life. That's just my thing. I love to be in the kitchen. I guess you say I get it from my mama. Yeah. So I think this is ready for me to test. Let me break it down the middle. See what it's looking like. And then I'm going to pull it. I'm just going to break it apart. And here it is, you guys. But I'm going to turn it into a meatball form. So I'm going to sit this to the side right here. And I'm going to test it for flavor, okay? And I guess I'll give my puppy a treat. That's excellent. My puppy's going to love this. He's going to get a treat. But like I said, ooh, that's going to be real good. Yes. So I'm going to add one more step right here. Put some Parmesan cheese in there. So I'm going to turn you back around. And I'm adding that cheese in there now. And then we're going to start forming our meatballs. Ooh, that is going to be so good. You guys, this is a hit. This is a one hit or a quitter. This is a hit. So I don't have to quit because it's a hit. Man, this is going to be great. I knocked the ball out the park on that one. Yes. That is a good element, and it's going to blend well with that spaghetti squash. Man, this is going to be good. I just can't wait till you guys see it. Then we're going to get over to that sauce, and we're going to start making that sauce from scratch. No jars in the house today. No jar spaghetti, nothing. We're going to get this done today. So I'm getting a 4-finger handful, and we're going to roll this up. Make it into nice balls. And there you have it. See that? And we're going to just drop them in there. So you can also comment on my page. Tell me what you think. If you have any ideas, you want me to cook a meal, just inbox me and I'll cook it. We can do it on the channel together if you like. So these meatballs are going to be great. We're going to leave them in the oven for about 30 minutes. Then we're going to add them into the sauce. So we have, 15 minutes left on our spaghetti squash. Like I said, as long as it's fork tender, we're good to go with the spaghetti squash. That's a little too much. I want my balls to all come out even. And I think my client is going to go crazy over this. I know for sure my son will. This is full of flavor. It's packed. It's really good. This is going to be a hearty spaghetti and meatball. Turk chicken meatballs, you guys. So, again, back to New Orleans things. We have another park that's very famous and well known. It's called City Park, where we have all the beautiful trees just hanging and they dancing and they even have one of those big oak trees out there, and the tree actually formed itself into a swing and you can sit on it. There's all sort of things you could do in City Park. There's the little train ride. You could go through the park. There's Storyland out in City Park. You can ride bikes. You could just have picnics there. That's where our family would meet up every summer. My grandmother, my parents, and all my aunts and cousins and stuff. We all get together as a family and have a big family picnic at City Park. It was a wonderful time. Everybody brought a dish, ice coolers full of stuff. It was wonderful. And that potato salad my mama used to cook, oh my goodness. That potato salad was so good. But yeah, we have a lot of attractions out there in New Orleans. You'll be amazed at our city, the city who never sleeps, the Big Easy. They never sleep. Like I said, you can go straight from the nightclub. It's 3 in the morning, you're a little hungry, and you can stop at any store and get you a sandwich because they're always open. Yes. So we're getting these meatballs done, and there's so many other things you can talk about in New Orleans, but our heritage is so strong. It's so diverse. It's from, all forms and walks of life have come there to Louisiana and just dwelt among there. And you may speak French, you may speak African, you can speak Spanish, you can speak all kinds of broken dialect. The way we might say something is the way you might not understand it or know, but we know, And we have a saying for everything. The way we pronounce things, the way we do things, it's just different. But it's unique and it's us. So I wouldn't give it up for the world. It's a beautiful place to visit. Like I said, there's so many different attractions. You can go and enjoy yourself. There's so many places you can walk to the river walk, go through our river walk. There's convention centers there. It's a really nice place. You can go see the old charity hospital where all the people who couldn't afford a private doctor would go and get help, and they wouldn't have to pay a dime. And they really took care of the people, and any special need you had, burn units, anything that was out of the ordinary, you can go to Charity Hospital, which was a learning institute as well, and they take care of it. They get it together. They get it straight. So New Orleans really has so many things to offer. Like I told you last time about not just our parks, but we also had Punching Train Beach. We had Lincoln Beach right outside of my home. I could walk to it from where I lived. It was in Little Woods area, and it was an all-black beach. That's where the black people would go to have fun at the beach. But all things change. So then there was Punching Train Beach that opened up, and it was always the lakefront when you went out and you went fishing. He will make you fishers of men. Yes. But it was a good place. Like I said, it's still a good place to go home and visit. We are seafood people. We love seafood. And you can still go out there on the lakefront and see fishermen out there fishing. So, catching their own food for dinner. That's how most people make a living. I remember one of our good friends, we called him White Boy Mark. He grew up with us. Yes, he was white, Caucasian, but he grew up in our neighborhood. We've known him since we were babies, 5 years old, and we still are friends to this day. And Mark, he was just an all-around Renaissance man. The boy caught a alligator that after it rained, it got out. He caught an alligator. We let him come into our house. He killed the alligator. We fried up some alligator right there in the kitchen. And we tore that alligator up. It was me, Mark, my sister Janet. We had such a good time. We called him White Boy Mark, and he's still out there doing the same thing. We grown now, but he still knows how to get his cook his food. So we have our meatballs together, our Turk chicken meatballs. Like I said, they are so delicious. We're going to put them in the oven on 375 for 30 minutes. Then we are going to start our spaghetti sauce from scratch, you guys. I'm going to add a lot in there. Now, you know what I told you. You got to wash them hands. Get them hands clean. And when you food them with raw chicken or turkey or something like that, any yard bird, you got to clean them hands. Get it straight. So, I'm going to go ahead and add them in the oven. Yeah, I hear my spaghetti squash is cooking up too, y'all. It's cooking. Yes, it's in that oven. I'm going to heat it with a fork and see how it is. Yeah, it's still a little hard, so we got a lot of time for that. We're going to let that keep going. Clean up a little bit around here. Then we're going to get into this sauce. We're going to get into the sauce now, you guys. Okay, so join me over here at the stove. We're going to transport some things over here. And the first things first, we have our Hunt's tomato sauce. We also have our tomato paste. And then I don't need this sage anymore. That was good. You put up some things as you go, you know. So I have fresh garlic. I'm not going to use this garlic powder either. I have my bay leaf here. I keep bay leaf too. Bay leaf is great. And then I have that good old chicken broth. We're not using any water today. We're going to use chicken broth, you guys. So, all right. We're ready to get this ball rolling. I got to get my butter out because I do butter and olive oil mixed together. So I'm going to place this to the side. I got my pot ready. Always got to have my garlic, of course. I'm going to get that butter out on you. Got to have that butter, real butter too, not margarine. Margarine is not real. We have to have real butter. I don't care if it costs a lot. If you're gonna get something, let it be real butter. It tastes better anyway. Margarine is not what I do. So everything real butter. My sister's house too. She has real butter. If I eat yogurt, I'm gonna eat real yogurt, the Greek yogurt, the one that helps you out. Probiotics. You know what I'm saying? So it's all things New Orleans, but we're doing a twist on it. If you're just coming in, we're doing meatballs and spaghetti squash, not pasta. Meatballs and spaghetti squash. The meatballs are not ground beef. They're ground turkey mixed with ground chicken. Explosive. I just tasted a piece. It is great. I'm thanking you for joining my kitchen. I'm getting the olive oil in and butter mixture for my sauce. We're about to do the sauce now. So then I'm going to add my bay leaf. I'm going to add my garlic. I want to add that first because I want it to cook and I want the flavors to come out. So I'm going to put my garlic in here. I got my trusty dusty spoon right here. Okay. I'm going to add that garlic in there. We're going to open up these herbs. You cook the garlic about 3 minutes. You let the bay leaf sit in there as well. And once you smell that aroma, ooh, it's so good. So, I got that ready. It's gonna be about 3 minutes. I'm gonna also add some more, oh, my spoon right here. I'm gonna add, not a lot, just about a tablespoon or two. No, yeah, one more tablespoon of the Holy Trinity. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. That's what we live by, that Holy Trinity. And what would that Holy Trinity be? Bell pepper, celery, and onion. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, I'm getting that situated. I'm starting to smell the aroma. Smelling real good, you guys. It is. I have my Italian seasoning. This is an Italian dish, right? With a Creole twist. So, of course, we got to add our onion powder. Even though I have onions in here, the more seasoning, the better in your sauce. I'm adding my onion powder. I have my thyme. Get that thyme in there because you're going to let your sauce cook for a while. I'm going to add basil. And what's this one? Oregano. I'm going to add some oregano too. Okay, of course they have measurements to everything. But I'm that type of cook. I don't need the measurements. But I'll leave the measurements for you guys. So I'm going to start adding the recipes in too. But I also have my cookbook coming out. It'll be out to you in the next couple of weeks. It's In the Kitchen with Angela. This Creole Roots girl. And come on in my kitchen. If you've been looking for me, you can find me in the kitchen. All right. So this is ready. This is ready for me to add in my tomato paste. Okay? Yes, I do use a lot of silverware, but that's my problem, not yours. I have a sink. I could clean it. So I'm adding all this. This is like 1/4 of a cup. And everything goes in my sink. So I started off with an olive oil real butter blend. Uh-oh. My timer went off. And that's for what's in the oven. So I just put my meatballs on 30 minutes. I'm going to start off by adding my tomato sauce. Yes, I'm going to be adding some sugar. We're going to use all that. Okay. All that goes in there. I'm going to be adding some paprika. And this is how it becomes Creole. Yes, cayenne pepper. And we use so many different flavors of seasoning in our food. That's what we're known for, okay? So that's what we're doing. We have this sauce coming together. I'm going to add some. We're going to let it come to a ball. I'm going to add some parsley flakes in here too. And I'm going to also add some chicken broth and black pepper as well. So it's starting to come to a boil. And that's as simple as that. I'm not using water because I want it to be real rich. I'm going to put a lid on it and let it cook for a while. But this is basically how you make your sauce. And it's going to be thick, rich, and creamy. Bursting with flavor. And throughout the week, if I'm feeling okay, I may come back at you guys during the week if I'm not too busy at my regular job. And I'll have to hit you guys up with a fish dish. Maybe coubillon, maybe trout almondine. We don't know. We got to see if we can find some trout out here. If not, we'll sacrifice and use catfish or something like that. But I mean, you can use whatever fish you want. So what I did was, to get all the tomato paste out of here, I added some chicken broth to the tomato paste container to get all the goodness out of there. And then we're gonna let this come to a boil. I gotta add my sugar in this pack here. This is good. Oh my God, this is so good. This is McCormick's thick and zesty spaghetti sauce. Like I said, it's very rich. And I gotta add my sugar in there. And if I need to add more liquid, I have more of this. So I'm gonna get me some sugar in here. And get my measuring spoon. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of sugar. Okay. And my older sister, Sarah, she loves spaghetti and meatballs. She would make spaghetti sauce. I tell you, that girl put sugar in there. It felt like a cup of sugar in there. I like zesty, tangy sauce. I had a little sugar, but my sister wanted hers sweet. Yeah, I called her Mufasa. That was my big sister, the oldest girl in my family. She passed away in 2009, but I'm remembering her today because I'm making spaghetti and meatballs, one of her favorite dishes. Also, cabbage was another thing she loved. That was her go-to. And she wanted to taste the sweetness in her spaghetti and her cabbage. For me, on the other hand, we're going to be cooking some cabbage too one day. I'm going to do our New Orleans style smothered cabbage the way my mother used to make it. So, we're going to get down with that too. And it's always good to have peas or corn or something with your spaghetti. I don't know. Some people actually fry like Mississippi. My cousins in Mississippi, Wesson, they made fried catfish with their spaghetti. But I believe it wasn't about the meatballs and spaghetti. It was when they made the spaghetti casserole with all the different meats in it. And the sidekick was the fried catfish. So, yeah. So, either way you go, how you do your sauces, how you do your food is the way you want it. That's what you used to. But make it taste great. Put some love in it. Put some character in it. Make it high definition. Make it right. Make them want to come back. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm adding a little bit more here. And then it's always good to have that. So, I'm going to let that start boiling up. And what we're going to do is we're going to check on these meatballs. And see, yeah, they're looking pretty good. So, I have my spaghetti squash in the oven. They've been cooking a while. And then I have my meatballs, the Turk chicken meatballs that I created instead of ground beef. We're doing healthy things today, but it's packing full of flavor already. I tasted one. It is excellent. You're going to love this dish. Just copy me. I don't mind. Go for it. I made my own sauce today. I'm letting it cook up, and then we're going to let it simmer down. If you have any questions for me, or you want to see me cook something that you've been wanting to try, just inbox me and let me know. I'll be glad to do that. You're in the kitchen with Angela. That's where I'm always at. That's where I'm going to be. So thank you for joining my channel, okay? So then we have another park while I'm waiting for this to cook up. We have another park out there. It's called Audubon Park. Audubon Park, I probably haven't been there since I was a little bitty girl in elementary school. So it's time for me to take a visit because that park is beautiful. And the zoo and everything is nice. But I have, as I've been grown, I did go to one of our newer reconstructions is where they had, I forgot what it's called though. Oh, it's right there on the edge of Canal Street. It's like the aquarium. That's what it is. The aquarium of the Americas out there in New Orleans at the end by the Riverwalk. It's so beautiful there. I took so many pictures of marine life, wildlife. It was beautiful. You could walk through there and you see just hawks and eagles and stuff sitting out on a tree. They don't even bother you. Saw all kinds of fish. I saw jellyfish. They were lighting up. It was so beautiful. That's another place you can take your children. And they have so many names for New Orleans. Chapatula Street. Streets you don't even have a clue about. You don't even know how to pronounce their names. It's funny, but it's the truth. And we don't have townships like everybody else, and we have parishes. So if you ever say you was raised in New Orleans or you know New Orleans, we always ask that question. What parish were you born in? Tangipahoa? If they can't pronounce it and they don't know its parishes, then they really wasn't there. Because our names are unique. They're Indian names. They're French names. Everything is unique. Some people don't even know how to say Metairie, Louisiana. General de Gaulle. These are people from the French areas. So that came over. Okay. So we have so many different people in one city, in one soup bowl. That's why we're all different shades, colors, and stuff like that. It's a wonderful place to be. The people are beautiful. They're unique. My aunts and uncles, they're there. Some of my siblings are there. And it's just a wonderful place to go back home to meet. And then we have that good old beignet. New Orleans beignet. Oh my goodness. A French donut like a pillow is a pillow of air. Those things are so good. One day I'm going to have to make that on my channel too. And I love the pecan candy, the pralines. Man, we can make up some good stuff. It's original. It's for us. It's from us, by us. And we just love our heritage. There's jazz festivals and stuff out there. There's so many things that you can do. So, I got to get back to the pot. Yeah, it's boiling up now. So, we're going to let this cook. But I'm going to turn it down some because I have to add my meatballs in there. And we're going to let all that cook together. I'm going to turn this down. We don't want it to stick. You got to keep checking your pot. I'm going to check to see if I need to add any more ingredients. But usually I don't because I usually have it spot on. You would probably need my recipe. Everything, every intricate thing, but I got it down pat. It's good. It's gonna be good. It's a winner. It's a winner chicken dinner with turkey. Okay, that was goofy, but it's okay. You'll be fine. So let me check my meatballs. Ooh, they looking pretty too, you guys. You gotta see this. Let me see if they give me some bounce back. Yep, that's it. That's it. I'm pulling them out right now. Because they're not only gonna cook, in the they cooked in the oven. That's a pre thing right there. But now I'm gonna put them in the pot and we're gonna cook them and let them simmer for some time. And let me stir this again. Yeah, and then we're going to add the meatballs in to the hot pot. First, I want to taste this. And see if I'm missing something. That is so good. Oh my goodness. I ain't missing nothing. I'm feeling good right now. I'm feeling blessed right now. Lord, if I could dance, I would. Yes. It's good. So I'm going to start adding them in. Yeah, don't try this. Yeah, I'm doing it while it's hot, but I'm used to it. I'm letting my spoon guide me, and we're not plopping them down in there. We're letting them fall against the side of the pot into the dish. And then we're going to let them cook too. I'll let them cook. And you can let it simmer for an hour, okay? Let everything incorporate and marry together. And as I stated, this is my meatballs are Turk chicken meatballs. Turk chicken. So I put some sage in there. I made it happen, you guys. So we're going to let this all incorporate together. My family loves my meatballs and spaghetti. Even though I made the regular kind for them, this is something new I decided to make because I want my clients that I cook for to get hearty dishes from New Orleans style person, but I also want to make sure it's healthy because they're working out, they're in fitness, they're getting life in a good way. So I want to make it good and hearty for them, but I also want it to be healthy too, so that they won't miss a beat on their diet, but they won't feel like they're missing anything, if you understand what I'm saying. So I have it all in here now. It's gonna work together. Let me bring you over here and see what's in this pot, this good old pot. You see that? Them meatballs and spaghetti, that squashes in the oven, you guys. That's good. We cooking all things New Orleans today, y'all. This is spaghetti and meatballs, but in an alternative form. Real healthy, full of flavor, rich and hearty. It's spaghetti squash in the oven we cooking now. And we also have Turk chicken meatballs. You're in the kitchen with Miss Angie. Creole Roots 47, holla at me. So I'm gonna let this cook. I'm gonna continue letting it cook down and letting all the ingredients marry together. My son will be here probably 3 o'clock today to pick up his boatload of food. He comes every Sunday to make sure he get food. He's such a cute kid. He's an awesome young man. He's good to his mom. I appreciate both of my sons. They're a blessing, you know. And I just love to feed people. So I don't mind. If you don't mind, you can come join me anytime. We'll have a cooking session together. I could do that for you. If you're in the DFW area, if you want to come see me, you know where I'm at, in the kitchen. So I have spaghetti and meatballs on the stove. The spaghetti squashes in the oven. It's almost ready. I have my meatballs in plate. Then I'm going to go ahead and do some fish tomorrow. So you will see me. I'm going to do fish tomorrow because this is part of my meal prep. So I may even come back and do it later on the day. It's according to how I feel. And I got a puppy over here in my living room. He keeps looking crazy at me, so that means he wants to go take his walk. So he's the boss. So I guess I'll be getting it going once I get this spaghetti squash out. Let it cool down. You have to let it cool down first. You don't want to handle it hot. Then what you do is you fork over after it's completely cooled down. You fork through the inside of the spaghetti squash, and they turn out into long little noodles. It's so cool. I love it. So they were pretty hard today. I had to fight with getting them cut open though. And then you add the olive oil, salt and pepper in there. And then you just put it in the oven, belly down. And then you let it cook, 375. You can even put it on 400 for about 30 to 40 minutes. So that time is pushing to where it's up. I'm gonna pull it out the oven. I'm gonna let it cool down, and I'll see you guys in a little while. Right now, I got things cooking in my kitchen, and everything is good. It's so good, and I'm just gonna let this simmer. You saw my dish. I'll be posting on Facebook today. I'll be posting on Instagram today too. I'm going to have a trivia question. You're going to have to follow me. You're going to have to like, subscribe, and then come back and give me the answer. And by Friday, we'll have the results. You can win a t-shirt. You can win a cup, all things New Orleans Creole Roots. You can win dinner for 2. You can win dinner for 1. It's up to you. We have some prizes that's going to be coming your way, but I have to have you subscribe to my channel. Watch the videos and learn what's going on. New Orleans style, all things New Orleans. You're in the kitchen with Angela, this Creole Roots girl. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye now.